Yo, it's your boy TT Ken. Welcome back to another Pokemon Draft League video. Today, we're going to be going over the Smogon Draft Kickoff Tour, at least the games that I've played so far. So essentially how the Smogon Draft Kickoff Tour is working is that since there's so many people that signed up for this tour, around 1,000 people signed up for this tour, we've had to separate all the players into groups of 5 essentially. So everyone's in a group of 5. There's about 190 of these groups, so like this is like the document for like 129 to 160. So essentially we've been all separated into groups of 5 and you have to battle everyone in your group. So you have 4 battles to play. Everyone has to play 4 battles, and yeah, I have 2 of the battles that I've played so far, so you know that's half of my games, and I just wanted to go over those games for you guys today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys do, please leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel for more content. Again, we've been uploading a lot of Generation 9 monotype videos, but obviously since the draft is going on right now, I'm going to upload some of those videos as well. Maybe if I can catch some games live with some prominent players, that will probably be a good you know, video to make as well. But either way, I didn't play these games live either because, you know, like the amount of prep that's gone into these games, I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to focus properly if I record, and I was a bit preoccupied. Things were a bit chaotic around my surroundings, so recording probably wasn't the best option, but now I was chilled out a little bit. So yeah, we're going to be going over both of my games, but yeah, let's do that now actually. So this first game was against Beck Lacor SD. I'm just going to assume that's how you see the username, but yeah, we're up against this guy, and Palafin is a scary Pokemon in draft, I'm not going to lie to you, particularly the fact that the way that we're handling terrestrialization is that you can only choose one of your Pokemon to terrestrialize, and they can obviously terrestrialize into any type, so there's no same type Terra or something like that, like how Monotype previously had. But yeah, Palafin is their Terra captain, so obviously this one can terrestrialize into any type, and my Terra captain is Chi-Yu, which you know is freaking Chi-Yu, so it's gonna be threatening regardless. But yeah, in terms of the prep, like this wasn't exactly the team I was expecting. Like I knew Palafin Corviknight was coming. I'll show you the draft quickly on this side. So this is their draft, and obviously I was expecting the Palafin Corviknight, Iron Moth, Weavile, Hatterene. I knew Lucario wasn't coming. I have a Chi-Yu, like Lucario would have been some dead weight in that matchup. But I wasn't expecting Serena. But the more I look at it, the more I'm just like, Serena actually kind of just folds my team, or like certain members like Rotom Wash and Izumara and stuff like that. So maybe I could have prepped for the Serena a bit more. But I was really expecting the Sandy Shocks because that one is also kind of scary. Like I have a lot of ground weak Pokemon like Iron Hands, Clodsire. Azumarill also can't really beat Sandy Shocks necessarily. Like, you know, you have to be careful of Aqua Jet, like depending on HP. So there's things like that where I thought Sandy Shocks would have been something you definitely bring, but they decided to go Serena instead, which you know, was a bit more annoying to handle, seeing how I was even running Fizz Def Clodsire, which probably would have worked out seeing how I was AV Iron Hands. But hindsight is a beautiful thing, and you know, it's just better for us to go into this game so you can see why I'm saying all of these things. But either way, so Palafin lead against Cyclizar. I was like, Cyclizar is a decent lead versus their team. Obviously they lead over Palafin because they're like, yeah, we're just gonna swap out to activate the hero form because you know, Palafin's a fun Pokemon. But either way, I was just like, I'm gonna knock off here with the Cyclizar. Cyclizar is move pool if you exclude Shed Tail, because obviously there's some rules to the draft. You can't have Shed Tail, you can't run Last Respects, like pretty much complex bans like that. But at the same time, yeah, Cyclizar's move pool outside of Shed Tail was actually pretty solid. It also has Regenerate as an ability. It's a pretty solid Pokemon. I think is a decent point pick. But yeah, they decided to U-turn into Rotom Wash. They have no ground immunity, which is probably the best thing I could have hoped for this game, but they do have a Serena, which is kind of annoying. So I do go into Iron Hands. I know this thing can take any hit really, and they go into Hatterene, and I'm like, I've teched Heavy Slam for this. They are Berry, so they take reduced damage, and they decide to CM, which is kind of insane. Like I was gonna swap out anyway. This is Iron Hands we're talking about. This thing was never one-shotting ever. That's just Iron Hands' level. So they stay in, and Hatterene is down, and I'm like, yeah, this is a good start to the game. They go out to Palafin, and yeah, so Palafin's here, they bulk up, and I'm just like, yeah, it's bulk up grass, which is pretty bad for me. I don't really have any switch-ins to this, and I have to start Rotom Wash, so that's unfortunate. I got into Chi-Yu, and I was Terra Dragon Chi-Yu, so I could obviously resist water. I go for the Dark Pulse, does a decent amount of damage, but yeah, in this position, I should have not stayed in with Chi-Yu. I really expected Jet Punch not to kill, but it's still stab, Jet Punch, and like Chiyu has no HP stat, so like I should have definitely swapped out into maybe Cyclozar or something, or like I don't know. It would have been, I don't know if I would have been able to get Chiyu again versus Palafin, because you know, Jet Punch, I was always in range of Jet Punch, so I was just like, crap. Like I kind of have to stay in. I hope I live, but obviously I was at +1. He's at +1, so I wasn't gonna live anything. So they got onto Weavile. I Roxy, you know, to get some chip damage on Moth, you know, Corviknight, all of that good stuff. They got onto Weavile, which is banded, I count the damage, 27 with Poison Jab. They got onto Corviknight, which obviously isn't like their best response, you know. I just Drain Punch, and you know, I am an electric type against a flying type. So they decided to defog the rocks. I'm like, you don't respect Iron Hands, do you? You really don't respect this Pokemon. So they go for the Iron Head, does like nil damage to me, and you know, Corviknight's down. So we're both 2 mons down, and I'm like, cool, this can go either way. They do go for the sidekick against me. I am AV, so I don't take too much, as they reveal to be Sasha and Moth. I was like, oh man, that's kind of annoying for me, isn't it? But yeah, I got on to Cyclozar because I knew I'll take the sidekick, U-turn out, get the regenerator up, and I'm still in a... I still think to myself I'm in a decent position, but this Palafin is so jarring to deal with, I'm not going to lie. But I decided to Drain Punch because I'm like, I need some, you know... I need some damage, you know, I need some chip. Maybe I can kill with, you know, Cyclozar and, you know, Zoomer and probably cinch out this game potentially, but we'll have to see. But they go for Drain Punch against me, 28. Jesus Christ. Like, Palafin is so fun. Honestly, this mon is so great. But yeah, going to the Clodsire here. Obviously, I'm unaware, so I don't really care about the damage, but I'm still... you know, afraid. Yeah, even Terra Blast just killed me there. Like, I wasn't defensive, so I should have been defensive. But yeah, I'm just trying to play, you know, the sack game here, and hopefully I can still beat this Palafin. But he's at 29. I'm just like, Sackers, I'll go. And Double Edge left him on 1. I was just like, yeah, the game's done. I really needed that Double Edge to kill. I might have had a shot, like, especially with Weavile, because I would have been able to set up a Weavile, you know, do some things. But yeah, that's GG. Decent game there, honestly. It's just that I guess I wasn't too prepared for the Palafin, and yeah, like, it was kind of annoying to deal with, all things considered. Maybe if I was max attack Cyclozar, I definitely would have been able to, you know, do a lot more here, but I was max HP for whatever reason. But yeah, it was a prep diff there, to be fair, so I can't really argue with that. But yeah, up against my next opponent, Bimsa 11, aka Bruno over here, and you know, let's look at his draft. I had to deal with a, you know, a Terra Captain Dragonite, and Terra Dragonite is honestly one of the most threatening Pokemon in this draft overall. A lot of people drafted Dragonite. You know, Terra Normal E-Speed is scary, Terra Fire, Terra Flying. Like, there was a game that I watched recently where it was Terra Flying Fly Dragonite, and I was like, crap, this mod is scary regardless of you know, what it does with its Terra type. So yeah, I had to really prep for that. I was like, in terms of my Terra, because you could always try and prep for your opponent's Terra with your own Terra Captain, and I decided to go with Steel Terra Chiyu because realistically, I wasn't expecting Terra Fire Dragonite. I was expecting either like normal or, you know, fire, you know. I mean, obviously, Chiyu won't be able to handle Terra Fire if I Terra into Steel type, but at the same time, it wouldn't happen. But the one I wanted to say was, yeah, crap, I even forgot what I wanted to say. But yeah, I was either expecting normal or fire, regardless. But I prepped for that. Have Mimikyu here because Mimikyu is here for Dragonite. That's all its role is supposed to be. We brought Iron Hands again because Iron Hands is the GOAT. You know, this one like can wall anything and just deal massive damage. Cyclozar's for my spinning. You know, Rotom Wash is for like the bulky pivot. You know, I have double status on my Rotom Wash with you know, T-Wave and Will-O-Wisps, and you know, either paralyze the Dragonite or, you know, burn it. Preferably burn it because E-Speed doesn't really care about, you know, speed drop from paralysis anyway. But yeah, it's Clodsire versus Quagsire. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this game as well. But I lead off with my Chiyu because I'm like, this mon kind of just fucks them up. Like, I'm life for modest Chiyu. Like, when you hear modest Chiyu with its ability, and you're just like, bro, this mon is insane. But obviously on this turn 1, I see the Rotom here, and I'm just like, they have a Hariyama. Like, Hariyama is only here to check Chiyu because it's a fighting type, so it resists dark, and it has the ability Thick Fat, which obviously makes it a fire resist. So I'm guessing they brought Hariyama to, you know, check my Chi, but obviously Chi has Psychic, so that's what I'm going to click this turn. I'm going to kick Psychic onto the Hariyama. Life Orb, you know, Psychic mod is doing 56. And I'm like, yeah, you have no switch-ins to Chi or your team anymore. So, you know, Psychic doing 43 to Sizzle, a resist. God damn, Chi Yu, you're scary, bro. You're scary. But I go for the Flamethrower against Hariyama, 24. I couldn't tell that was Thick Fat damage. I didn't bother to calc afterwards. But, like, what other ability are you running? Like, Guts is pretty useless here. And Thick Fat actually gives you some resistance against Chi Yu. But obviously, you go for the Bullet Punch here. Doesn't do much damage. But obviously, my Chi Yu, my main breaker, is, like, still taking chip from Life Orb. So I have to be careful. They go Gengar. Cool, Iron Hands is just going to wall this. I wasn't really too Spadef because that did 30, but he was Life Orb to be fair. So I go for the T-Punch against Quagsire. Obviously does no damage. You know, I have Psychozar here and I'm just like, cool. Number one, I'm a spinner. Number two, I have Power Whip for this. Like this week has Power Whip as well. Like Psychozar's a goat, man. I don't care. This one is insane. As you can see, it's called Santander. The UK guys will get what that means. But you know, Power Whip the Quagsire clearly just dies. So yeah, it just drops, and you know, I'm still 6-0 up. Bullet Punch. I wasn't not expecting Bullet Punch to kill me, but he was banded anyway. So you know, fair enough. I wasn't really expecting it. But I go into Iron Hands because obviously I'm a resist, and you know, it's time for me to just start clicking Drain Punch. You know, I'm max attack Adamant Iron Hands. I'm doing good damage to the Rotom, and obviously I don't take any damage there because Iron Hands just doesn't care. So Drain Punch does 49 to Sizzle, and I'm like, cool. He goes for the CC here, does a solid 45. Obviously, he's banded damage, and I go for the Thunder Punch here in case they. I went for the Thunder Punch in case they went Gengar on a double switch or something, but they decided to go there. You know. D-Knight here, and I'm just like, cool, I'm gonna go out into my Rotom Wash here because I broke multi-scale. They went for the Earthquake. Obviously I'm immune due to Levitate, and they Terra Normal, of course. So you know, I'm having to deal with such a monster like this, but I decided to Choice Scarf because obviously Burn, they could easily just start setting up DD again, and I wouldn't really be in a particularly good situation. But trapping them into a move and like either E-Speed, if they lock themselves into E-Speed, I have a Ghost type, so they really can't do anything. Their next Pokemon dies to Ghost move, and you know, Rotom Heat is chipped. So at this point, I'm in a position to really just win this game. I don't really see how I can particularly lose now that I've you know, tricked the Dragonite you know, Choice Scarf. But you know, they even went for Iron Head, so they were like DD Earthquake E-Speed Iron Head. I don't know what Iron Head was for, honestly. Like maybe Mimikyu, I guess. But now that they locked themselves into Iron Head, I can easily just go into Iron Hands. You know, he's a normal type, so I can threaten them with the Drain Punch, and yeah, it's a pretty good situation for me. So they go into Gengar. I EQ because I just knew Gengar was gonna come on the Drain Punch anyway. Like it was obvious read. You know, they weren't gonna go Rotom, and you know, like EQ hits both of these guys. So like yeah, so Gengar's down. I didn't even have to deal with Life or Gengar anymore. They go on to Overheat, crits me for 33. Deep, that's a crit, by the way, and I just Drain Punch, you know, get the health back. So that -2, they go for Overheat again, does 11, and I'm just like, yeah, Iron Hands is really just that guy. Iron Hands is that guy. And obviously, like, it doesn't even matter what they click here. They clicked E-Speed, obviously Mimikyu just came in, and like, I could have just taken the piss and started setting up SD, or like, burn the Dragonite, like, be a dickhead and stall, when I could have easily ended the game. But they went for the Iron Head, and Iron Hands just lives that. So I'm just like, cool. Iron Hands is just built different. This mod is insane. I love using it, and hopefully it gives me good luck in the next 2 games that I play. Alright, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Again, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like down below. It shows your support for the channel. Subscribe if you aren't subscribed. We have a lot of new Gen 9 content coming to the channel. Like I always say, I'm always providing the best heat that I can. Obviously, I'll see if I can get some more draft games going on. Maybe like some, you know, commentary of like some live games with some prominent Smogon players or some good draft players as well. I think that would be some good content for you guys to see. If you're interested in draft specifically or want to find out more about draft. And yeah, whenever I get to play my next 2 games in this kickoff tour, I will be recording them. So yeah, hopefully that all goes well. But yeah, thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.